Okay, back again. So, topic of this video, I'm not a whinger, but you know, this does peeve me a little bit. So, we bought the Skydio drone. A lot of people recommended it. Did a bit of research on YouTube and that. And you know what? They look like a good thing. Got it. With being in Australia, it was a big pain in the ass to get it here. But realistically, from day one, never been really happy with it. Flew around the house and that, yeah, everything sort of worked. The crash avoidance and all that jazz seemed to work really well. Every time I tried to use it behind the car or the bike, we kept having, it'd just have a hissy fit and you know, just stop or get stuck in a tree, or you know, so you're forever not being confident and having to reverse back, find it, let it reconnect, and then you'd go on again. Behind the car was not too bad. Behind the bike, the thing was useless. Anything over, you know, 20-30 kilometers an hour, no chance of catching you. So for a, you know, adventure sports person, this was supposed to be the ultimate drone to chase you and record your footage and everything. I disagree. The only time we used this when it didn't stuff up at all or have a hissy fit or not work out where it was going or whatever was we took it out behind my boat one day. That was the only time we could use it start to finish, and that was only 7 or 8 minutes. It was the only time it didn't have a meltdown. So, you know, this thing's done probably 10 hours flight time all up. That's how not confident I am with it. So after about 5 hours, one battery wouldn't charge at all. The second battery would only take half the charge. So we were left with one battery after about 5 hours. Skydio did replace the batteries, but you know, being in Australia, it's a pain in the ass. So anyway, thought, you know what, I really need to knuckle down and get this thing to work, because my videos need better footage. And you know, I had this thing sitting here, I've had it for over a year now, and really not been able to use it. So we took it out in the car again. In the space of what, 10 minutes, it had 2 hissy fits where it would just stop, just sit there idling in the breeze, nothing in its way, whatever. And then you'd reverse back to the thing, would connect again, the dongle, GPS dongle would connect again, and then the thing would just shoot off at whatever angle it wanted and then come back into line. Anyway, so I did that twice. The second time we were just going along a dirt road, nothing really in the way, had another hissy fit, reversed back till it got in range again of the dongle, had another hissy fit, the drone turned hard left and took off all on its own straight into some power lines, crashed, broke it. So to the point where you couldn't even turn it on. It broke the housing, broke one of the motors. It was fair knackered. Contacted Skydio. They're not helpful at all. You know, they must have a robot or something that replies to your emails. So I don't think it's a real person. If it is, then I don't know what the hell they're doing over there. But we had to answer the same question 10 times. They kept saying to us, power it up so we can get the footage off it. So, well, mate, it doesn't power up. So then they'd ask again, oh, we need you to power it up. It doesn't power up. So this went back and forward like 10 times before they would understand we could not power the drone up for them to get the footage. So they can log into your app and get the footage off your app. The app was clear as day. You could see it stop, you could see us reverse back, then the drone just had a mind of its own, turned left, bang, straight into these power lines into the ground. Their reply to that was, oh, you can't fly them around trees, power lines, or fences. Okay, so what's the drone for? It's supposed to have all this fancy avoidance, crash avoidance sensors, and it's supposed to be an action sports drone, but you can't use it anywhere there's trees, anywhere there's power lines, or anywhere there's fences. So, what, in the middle of a paddock? So dealing with them over the crash was pretty frustrating. They didn't want to help. You know, they wanted money up front before they looked at the drone. And, you know, the emails were frustrating because, as I said, it was like a robot. There was no, wasn't like it was a person answering, and they'd ask her the same questions. Because you didn't give them the answer they wanted, they'd ask the same question and say, if you do not answer this, we will close the case. Well, mate, we answered the question 10 times. They wouldn't accept that we couldn't turn it on. Anyway, we sent it back. $1,000 Australian later, we got it back. I haven't used it yet. I don't know if I will. I guess I'm stuck with it. There's probably owes us far out. It'd be nearly $4,000 now, this drone. And realistically, no confidence in flying it at all. Flying it by hand, no dramas. It'll do what you want, and it takes good footage. I'm not going to deny that, but confidence as far as being an action sports drone that'll follow you without hitting shit, no. Not what it's cracked up to be. As I said, I'm not a whinger, but this has really pushed some buttons, and I don't want, I wouldn't even sell it to someone because I wouldn't want them coming back to me saying, you know what, this thing's rubbish. It's not what it's cracked up to be. So people out there, if you're looking for an action sports drone, stick with DJI. I don't recommend the Skydio at all, which is a shame because, I don't like putting shit on things. But the way they've dealt with us with this and my experience with it, I'm not happy. And it is what it is. But if you are looking and you're searching the net and you're looking between DJI and the Skydio, stick with the DJI.